Awan memayungi pohon dan batu bersujud. Pada suatu hari, Muhammad yang berusia 12 tahun diajak pamannya Abu Talib melakukan perjalanan dagang ke Damaskus. Unta Abu Talib berhenti di depan rumah seorang pendeta Nasrani. Sang pendeta keluar rumah dan menemukan Muhammad dalam rombongan itu. Pendeta memegang tangan Muhammad. Anak ini diutus Allah sebagai rahmat bagi seluruh alam, katanya. Dari mana engkau tahu? Tanya Abu Talib. Tokoh-tokoh Quraisy dalam rombongan itu memandang sang pendeta. Tadi aku lihat pohon dan batu bersujud kepadanya. Terang sang pendeta. Mereka hanya bersujud kepada Nabi. Tolong panggil dia kemari, pinta sang pendeta sambil membawa makanan untuk rombongan Abu Talib yang berteduh di bawah pohon. Muhammad mendatangi sang pendeta. Semua melihat awan memayungi Muhammad. Lihatlah, pohon-pohon juga condong kepadanya. Siapa walinya? Tanya pendeta itu. Aku walinya, jawab Abu Talib. Jaga anak ini, nasihat sang pendeta. Bawa ini untuk bekal kalian. Pendeta itu memberikan minyak dan makanan. Abu Talib segera membawa Muhammad pulang ke Mekah. Saat bulan terbelah. Pada suatu hari, Nabi Muhammad sedang tidur saat malaikat Jibril menyampaikan wahyu. Bangunlah, lalu berilah peringatan. Sejak itu, Nabi Muhammad selalu memperingatkan para penduduk Mekah. Wahai manusia, sembahlah Rabb kalian. Para penduduk Mekah mendatangi Nabi Muhammad. Tunjukkanlah bukti kepada kami jika kamu seorang Nabi, pinta mereka. Saksikanlah, kata Nabi Muhammad sambil menunjuk ke atas. Para penduduk Mekah mendongak ke langit. Bulan yang berada di atas bukit Hira terbelah dua. Satu bahagian bergerak sampai ke belakang bukit Hira. Ini adalah sihir, kata salah seorang dari mereka mengingkari mukjizat Nabi Muhammad. Tanyalah kepada para musafir, kata penduduk Mekah lainnya. Kalau para musafir melihatnya juga, berarti Muhammad benar. Para penduduk Mekah menanyakan kepada setiap musafir yang lewat. Para musafir itu pun menjawab, kami tadi pun melihatnya. Bertahun-tahun kemudian, para musafir melihat sebuah candi di India. Di dalam candi itu ada tulisan, candi ini dibangun saat bulan terbelah dua pada malam hari. Awan memayungi pohon dan batu bersujud. Pada suatu hari, Muhammad yang berusia 12 tahun diajak pamannya Abu Talib melakukan perjalanan dagang ke Damaskus. Unta Abu Talib berhenti di depan rumah seorang pendeta Nasrani. Sang pendeta keluar rumah dan menemukan Muhammad dalam rombongan itu. Pendeta memegang tangan Muhammad. Anak ini diutus Allah sebagai rahmat bagi seluruh alam, katanya. Dari mana engkau tahu? Tanya Abu Talib. Tokoh-tokoh Quraisy dalam rombongan itu memandang sang pendeta. Tadi aku lihat pohon dan batu bersujud kepadanya. Terang sang pendeta. Mereka hanya bersujud kepada Nabi. Tolong panggil dia kemari, pinta sang pendeta sambil membawa makanan untuk rombongan Abu Talib yang berteduh di bawah pohon. Muhammad mendatangi sang pendeta. Semua melihat awan memayungi Muhammad. Lihatlah, pohon-pohon juga condong kepadanya. Siapa walinya? Tanya pendeta itu. Aku walinya, jawab Abu Talib. Jaga anak ini, nasihat sang pendeta. Bawa ini untuk bekal kalian. Pendeta itu memberikan minyak dan makanan. Abu Talib segera membawa Muhammad pulang ke Mekah. Paha kambing yang bisa bicara. Pada suatu hari, seorang perempuan Yahudi bernama Zainab binti Al-Harith mendatangi para sahabat. Dia bertanya, bahagian manakah dari daging kambing yang disukai Rasulullah? Para sahabat menjawab, bahagian paha kambing. Zainab binti Al-Harith pulang ke rumahnya. Dia memasak daging kambing untuk Nabi Muhammad. Bluk bluk bluk, air dalam kuali mendidih. Zainab binti Al-Harith menaburkan racun sebanyak mungkin ke bahagian paha kambing. Setelah selesai memasak, Zainab binti Al-Harith menghidangkan paha kambing itu untuk Nabi Muhammad. Saat Nabi Muhammad hendak memakannya, tiba-tiba paha kambing itu berbicara, "Wahai Nabi, dagingku ini beracun." Nabi langsung batal memakan hidangan itu. "Kumpulkan semua orang Yahudi yang ada di sini," perintah Nabi Muhammad. Para sahabat segera mengumpulkan semua orang Yahudi di hadapan Nabi Muhammad. "Apakah kalian telah meracuni daging kambing ini?" tanya Nabi Muhammad. "Betul," sahut orang-orang Yahudi. "Kami hanya ingin mengujimu. Kalau engkau memang seorang Nabi, pasti engkau selamat." Rintihan batang kurma. Setiap hari Jumaat, batang kurma di Masjid Nabawi merasa bahagia. Nabi Muhammad biasa berkhutbah sambil bersandar kepadanya. Batang kurma itu suka mendengarkan khutbah Nabi Muhammad. Dia juga senang mendengar zikir-zikir yang diucapkan Nabi Muhammad. Suatu hari, seorang sahabat bertanya, "Wahai Rasulullah, bagaimana jika engkau membuat mimbar supaya orang-orang bisa melihatmu?" "Boleh," kata Nabi Muhammad. "Siapa yang akan membuatkan mimbar itu?" Seorang lelaki berdiri. "Aku." "Kau bisa membuatnya?" tanya Nabi Muhammad kepada lelaki itu. Lelaki itu menjawab, "Ya, insya-Allah." "Siapa namamu?" tanya Nabi Muhammad. "Ibrahim," jawab lelaki itu. "Buatkanlah mimbar itu," perintah Nabi Muhammad. Pada hari Jumaat, Nabi Muhammad naik ke atas mimbar barunya. Hik hik hik. Tiba-tiba terdengar suara rintihan. Orang-orang melihat batang kurma miring dan retak. Nabi Muhammad langsung turun dari mimbarnya. Nabi Muhammad mendatangi batang kurma itu dan mendekapnya sambil suara rintihan itu menghilang. "Batang kurma itu merintih kerana rindu kepadaku," kata Nabi Muhammad. "Demi Allah, kalau induk kijang yang menepati janji." Pada suatu hari, Nabi Muhammad melewati sebuah tenda ketika seekor kijang yang terikat di tiang berbicara kepadanya. "Wahai Rasulullah," kata kijang itu, "aku punya 2 anak yang masih kecil. Izinkan aku menyusui mereka. Jika aku melepaskanmu, apa kamu akan kembali?" tanya Nabi Muhammad. "Ya," sahut kijang itu, "Allah akan menghukumku jika tidak kembali." Nabi Muhammad bertanya kepada pemburu yang sedang berkumpul, "Siapa pemilik kijang ini?" Salah seorang pemburu berdiri dan menghampiri Nabi Muhammad. "Kami pemiliknya, wahai Rasulullah," katanya. "Lepaskan kijang ini," kata Nabi Muhammad, "agar dia bisa menyusui kedua anaknya. Setelah itu, dia akan kembali kepada kalian." "Siapa yang menjamin kijang itu akan kembali?" tanya pemburu itu. "Aku," jawab Nabi Muhammad. Mereka pun melepaskan kijang itu. Wus, kijang itu berlari cepat. Anak-anaknya melompat-lompat senang saat melihat ibunya. Induk kijang segera menyusui mereka. Setelah selesai, kijang itu menemui Nabi Muhammad. "Maukah kalian menjual kijang itu kepadaku?" tanya Nabi Muhammad. "Kijang itu untukmu, wahai Rasulullah," sahut pemburu itu. "Lepaskanlah dia," kata Nabi Muhammad. Mata kijang itu berbinar. Setelah dilepaskan, kijang itu berlari sambil mengucapkan, "Tiada Tuhan selain Allah dan Nabi Muhammad adalah utusan Allah." Lamb style that can speak. A Yahudi woman, Zainab binti Al-Harith, came towards the companion. She asked, "Which part of the goat that most preferred by Rasulullah?" They said, "The goat's thigh." When the woman went back to her home, she cooked the lamb for Prophet Muhammad. When the water in the pot had boiled, Zainab binti Al-Harith put poison as much as she could to the thigh part. When she had done with the cooking, Zainab binti Al-Harith served the thigh for the Prophet. When the Prophet went to eat the meal, suddenly
The Thai spoke, O Prophet, there is poison in it. After hearing that, Prophet Muhammad did not eat the Thai that had been served to him. Gather all the Yahudi people, instructed the Prophet. All the companions gathered them in front of the Prophet. Did you poison this lamb? Asked him. Yes, we do. They answered. We just want to test you. If you're really a prophet, you will be safe, added them. A deer that kept the promise. Prophet Muhammad was passing by a tent where a deer was tied up to a pole talking to him. O Prophet, I had 2 children that needs me. Please let me feed them. Said the deer, if I let you go, will you return? Asked the Prophet. Yes, Allah will punish me if I did not do that, answered the deer. Prophet Muhammad asked the hunter, who owned this deer? One of the hunters stood up and walked towards the Prophet while saying, we are the owner, O Prophet. Release the deer so that she can feed her child and then she will return to you, said the Prophet. Who will ensure that the deer will return? The hunter asked the Prophet. The Prophet then answered, me. After that, they released the deer. The deer ran after being released, and her child jumped joyfully the moment they saw their mother. The mother deer then fed them. After she had finished feeding her child, the deer went to see the Prophet. Do you want to sell the deer to me? Asked the Prophet. The deer is for you, O Prophet. Then let it go, said the Prophet. After she had been released, she ran while saying, there is no God except Allah and no Prophet other than Muhammad. A deer that kept the promise. The cloud of a shadow, tree and rock boughs. 12 years old Muhammad followed his uncle Abu Talib to do trading business at Damascus. Abu Talib's camel stopped in front of Nasrani pastor. The pastor went out and met them. Then he held Muhammad's hand and said, this child is sent from Allah as rahmah to the universe. How did you know? Said Abu Talib. All the Quraysh leaders looked at the pastor. I see the trees and rock bows toward him, said the pastor, and they only bow towards the Prophet. Please call him here, asked the pastor while serving some food to them. Muhammad approaching the pastor, and everyone witnessed the sky also followed him. Look, all the trees also bend towards him. Who is his guardian? Asked the pastor. I am, answered Abu Talib. Please look after this child, advised the pastor, and also take this as your supply. The pastor gave them some oil and food. Abu Talib brought Muhammad back to Makkah. The cry of date palm. Every Friday, the date palm at Masjid Nabawi felt very happy since Prophet Muhammad usually gave Friday sermon while leaning towards it. The date palm liked to hear the sermon and the zikr that was delivered by the Prophet. One day, a companion asked, O Prophet, what if we build a pulpit so that all the people can see you while giving the sermon? Can, of course, replied the Prophet. Who will build it? Asked him. A man stood up while saying, Me, can you build it? Asked the Prophet. The man answered, Yes, inshallah. What is your name? Asked the Prophet Muhammad. Ibrahim, replied the man. Please build the pulpit, instructed the Prophet. On Friday, Prophet Muhammad got on his new pulpit. Suddenly, a cry was heard. The people saw the date palm had cracked. Prophet Muhammad got off the pulpit immediately. He walked towards it and hugged the date palm until it stopped crying. This date palm cries because it missed me, and if I didn't hug it, it will cry until doom, said the Prophet. a deer that kept the promise. Prophet Muhammad was passing by a tent where a deer was tied up to a pole talking to him. "O Prophet, I had 2 child that needs me. Please let me feed them," said the deer. "If I let you go, will you return?" asked the Prophet. When the moon split. Prophet Muhammad was sleeping when the Jibril relaying the revelation. "Wake up and give reminder." Since that, Prophet Muhammad always remind the people of Mecca, "O people, bow towards your rock." Prophet Muhammad was visited by people of Mecca. "Show me a proof if you are a prophet," demand them. "Please watch," said the Prophet while pointing to the sky. The people of Mecca looked up to where the Prophet was pointing. The moon was located above the Bukit Hira, split into 2. One part moved to the back of Bukit Hira. "This is black magic," said one of them that refused to accept the miracle of Prophet Muhammad. "Ask the travelers," said the other people of Mecca. "If they can see it too, it means that Prophet is true." The people of Mecca asked each of the travelers that passed by them. They said, "Yes, we see it too." Years had passed. The travelers then saw a temple in India. In the temple, there was a writing reads, "This temple was built when the moon split into 2 during the night."